Yo, what's good YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the Token Minorities March Madness 2019, and we have some more bracket play. We've made it past round 64, made it past the pools, made it past round 64, now we're in round of 32. After 32 comes the Sweet 16, and then the Elite 8, and then the Final 4. And this battle determines if we make it any further in such brackets. So, that being said, our opponent has Mega Lopunny, Latios, Necrozma, Crocodile, Toxapex, and the Ferrothorn. And we have Landorus Therian, Mega Alakazam, Infernape, Scizor, Rotom and the Oricorio Pau. That is a Psychic Flying type, if you guys didn't know. Anyways, decided to leave Decidueye and the Slaking on the bench this week, or for this match, this round, I should say. And we've got a Choice Scarf Landers, max attack Adamant, so we put out the most damage output and can potentially 3-hit KO Ferrothorn depending on its spread. And U-Turn can potentially 2-hit KO a Latios depending on its spread as well. And we have Knockoff, which can also 2-hit KO depending on its spread. And our last move is, again, Punishment. Similar to the last round, we faced off against Mew. This round we're facing off against Necrozma, which could also be a Combine variant. And if it does get up to, +2/+2 or something like that, then Punishment would be a nice revenge killer. Otherwise, this thing just gets momentum. U-turns out, gets to Intimidate off. We have enough HP and defense investment to take on Crocodile and Mega Lopunny. We avoid a one shot after Stealth Rocks from a Mega Lopunny's Ice Punch thanks to our Intimidate and HP and defense investment. And we have enough speed to outpace up to Mega Lopunny. That being said, we also have Mega Alakazam with a Modest Nature, max special, nearly max special attack, nearly max speed. We kind of expect the Mega Lopunny to speed creep our Infernape. We are speed creeping an Adamant max speed Mega Lopunny. And we have the Psychic Signal Beam for I debated between Shadow Ball and Signal Beam for the Latios and the Necrozma, but since Signal Beam also hit Crocodile, which resists Shadow Ball, I decided to bring it instead, and then have 3 attacks: Psychic, Signal Beam, and Hidden Power Fire for the Ferrothorn, and then Protect to avoid a fake out damage from Mega Lopunny, as well as scouting the Mega Latios, the Latios, the Ferrothorn, and things like that. And I can potentially scout for like a Choice Scarf Crocodile. If he goes for the Pursuit, then I know I can just stay in and click the Signal Beam. If he goes for the Knockoff, then I can more than likely just switch out, expecting him to be a Choice Scarf variant. Next up, we have Infernape with the Focus Sash. We've got Stealth Rocks, Flamethrower, Vacuum Wave, and Endeavor. The idea is for Toxapex to hit us up with the Scald, potentially get our rocks up, get hit with the Scald, maybe 2 Scalds or so, and then Endeavor down the Toxapex, catch it off guard, and then knock it out with the Flamethrower. I can also do that to things like Necrozma, catch it off guard with the Endeavor set, and potentially, eliminate, or not nearly eliminate it, but neutralize it, cripple it as a threat. Next up, we have Scizor, which is an Akaberry variant with an Adamant Nature. Max HP with a little bit of defense investment, a little bit of special defense investment, and a little over 100 AVs in attack. Allows us to net some certain knockouts on Crocodile, Latios, things like that with U-turn. We've got the Pursuit and Bullet Punch as well. Bullet Punch, to hit Mega Lopunny, out prioritize that, and Pursuit to trap the Latios, eliminate it for things like Infernape, and Oricorio Pau to have a little bit better of a time. We also have Roost as our last move. We can take a hit from Mega Lopunny as long as it doesn't have Fire Punch or we're in range of High Jump Kick. We can Roost up on a Crocodile, Ferrothorn, Toxapex, things like that. Next up, we've got a Rotom Wash with Leftovers, and we're nearly max special defense with a bold nature, so a defense boosting nature, and allows us to semi-check his entire squad. If you look at them, we have Sub, Discharge, Signal Beam, and Defog. Again, Signal Beam hitting the Latios for super effective damage, and Discharge pretty much can paralyze other things. Discharge also hits Crocodile, which is otherwise immune, and Hydro Pump was kind of risky. Ferrothorn's a thing, things like that. So I felt like Discharge Signal Beam was a pretty cool set. And we've got Defog on there as well to get rid of any kind of Toxic Spikes, and Substitute to avoid Toxic from Toxapex. That being said, our last one is Orikorio Pa'u with the leftovers. We've got a timid nature, nearly max HP, and a little bit of defense investment with taunt, roost, revelation dance, and air slash. Able to speed creep, I believe, up to crocodile, which is pretty nice. That being said, he's got 3 potential stealth rockers in this match. 1 spiker and a toxic spiker, so lots of options for hazards in this match. So I've got to be very weary of that. That being said, he has a plethora of leads, so it was very hard to determine a lead here. But I did decide to lead off with Landorus Therian because I could just U-turn out. But what I'm going to do here actually is I've got the Intimidate off, so I'm going to go hard into the Orikorio here. Had he went for Ice Punch, I would have comfortably taken it as well. And I'm going to go for Air Slash immediately, see what my opponent wants to do. As he goes into the Feral Thorn, which is actually pretty okay for me. I can taunt this thing and start to Air Slash it down, see what he wants to go for. As he actually hard switches out, he must not have a move to hit me with. Goes into his Latios, and I'm able to get some Air Slash damage on that. I'm going to hard switch into my Scizor here, as my opponent goes for the Calm Mind. And now Hidden Power Fire will do a chunk, but thanks to my Aqua Berry, I still will survive. And I go for the U-turn here as my opponent reveals the Tanga Berry. So really, really cool tech there. I could have went for the double Bullet Punch, but ultimately decided U-turning out into Mega Alakazam would be fine. And here I go for the Signal Beam as my opponent goes into the Feral Thorn. And now what I should do is Signal Beam again, expecting my opponent to double. But I actually go for the Hidden Power Fire, and it bounces off of this Necrozma. And I have Protect. I don't have Taunt, so my opponent's able to get a Calm Mind up here. Luckily, I confused him, so I may have a way out here. So I'm going to go for Signal Beam again. If he hits himself in confusion, it would be nice. But my opponent does not, and he escapes there. So I don't have an out immediately here. I go into my Infernape hoping that, he would either Moonlight or Calm Mind again, and I could go get an Endeavor off. But he actually goes for the Heat Wave, so he breaks my Sash, and that's really unfortunate for me. I'm able to get my Rocks up, though, as he throws off a Toxic and poisons my Orikorio, and that's really unfortunate for me. As I am able to get my Mega Alakazam in, though, as he brings in his Feral Thorn finally, and I can click the Hidden Power Fire, or I can click Signal Beam. I do go for the Hidden Power Fire, and I can click Protector, see what my opponent wants to do, see if he wants to click Knockoff or Pursuit. He does go for the Knockoff, so I'm going to switch out now and go into my Rotom Wash, and my opponent does over half with the Knockoff, so really nice for him. What I can do is Discharge or double out, and when I decide to double out, as my opponent switches out first, I get, I don't get initiative, but my double works out for me as I get the Feral Thorn in, but Toxapex bounces off, and I've allowed my Orikorio to be poisoned, so I'm at a severe disadvantage now, whereas otherwise Orikorio could actually probably win this game for me, honestly. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking at it now, had I been able to avoid being poisoned, Orikorio could actually have won this game for me by actually taunting the Necrozma, taunting everything else, such as Ferrothorn and the Toxapex, and avoiding being poisoned, avoiding any kind of setup, and avoiding being swept. But actually, my opponent's going to go for the Calm Mind here again, and he's going to be able to Moonlight back up. What I could do is run him out of Moonlights, since I don't have recovery myself, though. I haven't revealed Protect as my last move, but I have revealed that that Signal Beam is my best way to hit Necrozma. And since I haven't revealed Taunt yet, it's more than likely that I don't have it. So unfortunately, my opponent's doing a really, really good job here. I'm baiting the Heat Wave here, but my opponent actually just stays in and Moonlights up, expecting maybe a U-turn or something. Really unfortunate for me. I was hoping to get the Heat Wave into the Endeavor, and then that plus Signal Beam, or Landorus coming in to revenge kill him, would do the job. But he's just too fat. What's going to happen is Scizor's going to come in. It's going to bounce off. He's going to Moonlight up as I just try to U-turn out and get some more damage off on him. But the Prism Armor, Fat Necrozma is really, really tough to break here. I go for the Knockoff, gets rid of his leftovers at least. And now I can put him in position to where maybe Punishment can do the job. So I'm going to go out to my Scizor, get a little bit of extra chip on him here. And Landorus is still sort of my win condition, so I don't necessarily want to go into that just yet. I'm going to go into my Alakazam and try one more time here for maybe a confusion. Or run him out of Moonlights and be at an advantage somewhat because of... excuse me, sorry. That's my alarm. Anyways, what I was saying was I could use Regenerator to keep Alakazam at a healthy amount of HP by tracing his other Pokemon, and I could beat down Necrozma with Signal Beam and run him out of Moonlights to the point where he couldn't recover any longer. Anyways, at this point, I'm in a really tough position. I'm going to have to bank on my opponent not having Quick Attack, go hard into my Mega Alakazam here, but my opponent does have the Quick Attack, and he's going to be able to clean this game up here, which is a really tough loss here. Necrozma really put in the work. I felt like our prep was really nice. I felt like just a couple plays differently, and we would have had this game as well. But yeah, it's going to be it for us. Our run is going to be cut short here at round of 32, but it was really fun. And I got called into work the night before, so I wouldn't have been able to finish the tournament. I would have ended up having to forfeit any kind of games after maybe had I made it to around, this is around 32. If I won in Sweet 16, I wouldn't have been able to play Elite 8, Final 4, or the final championship game. So it's okay. It wasn't meant to be, and that's going to be fine with me. But let me know what you guys thought. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed the battles. Yeah, I guess that's just about it. So let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Good game to random. Good luck the rest of the tour, my man. And that's going to be it. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.